Hello there, Emma. I'm just messaging to tell you that you should marry Gerald and not Tony.
Mimi, please. How many times have we already had the same conversation? The man that I've been dating this whole time is Tony, and he's the man I'm going to marry.
What are you talking about? I need to make sure that Gerald gets married before his brother. I've realized that when Tony brought you home with him that I had to do something to help Gerald find a wife quickly. So anyways, that's why you're going to be marrying Gerald instead. And I won't take no for an answer.
Mimi, you can say whatever you'd like, but it isn't going to change my mind about this. I'm going to marry Tony, and that's final. I mean, I don't even think I've spent more than an hour cumulatively with Gerald.
But I'm sure that you would come to love him if you just knew him a little better. I promise that he really is an amazing guy, and you wouldn't regret marrying him. Don't make me force this to happen. Don't forget that the two of you are married now. If you try and break this off or do anything to ruin the fact that you're engaged to Gerald, I will sue you into oblivion. Do you understand?
I seriously have no idea how to even respond to this, but please don't spout this crazy nonsense and then threaten me with legal action. Anyways, I have to go. Hey, Tony, I'm really sorry to bug you while you're away on your business trip. But it's just that your mom started talking to me about marrying your brother again.
You're kidding me. I thought that you talked to her about that.
In fact, apparently in her head she seems to think that Gerald and I are already engaged or something. There was one time she told me that if I broke off my engagement with him, that she would sue me.
Emma, I am so sorry that you're having to deal with all this right now. I wish my mom would stop all this nonsense.
I mean, I wonder how Gerald himself feels about all this. Probably doesn't like being put in this situation any more than I do. Feels like your mom would be the kind of person to push this, whether or not the both of us wanted it or not.
I think you're probably right about that. But actually, I talked to Gerald a little bit about this earlier.
Really? I didn't know you two were still talking. When was the last time that you even had a good chat with each other? If I remember correctly, you two haven't been the closest of people ever since Gerald quit his job at the big company and shut himself up in his room.
I know that it seems that way, but that's not what's really happening at all.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that the real reason why he quit his first job was because he was in the process of publishing his first book.
Oh, really? I had no idea that Gerald wrote anything.
Well, it's already a bestseller and has even been picked up by some streaming service to be turned into a show.
That's amazing! He must be so proud!
I would think so. But he's basically doing all of this online, so he hasn't had the need to go into the office or even leave his room, really. Besides, he's always more of an indoor person anyways. I think he's probably glad to have less reasons to leave the house now.
Oh, I see, so that's how things are.
But I think that he still hasn't told anyone that he's gone and published his book already. I think he's just worried that if Mom finds out, she will just use it to brag to everyone she knows about him and just never give him any peace or privacy. So that's why he's been pretending to be the antisocial shut-in this whole time. He's really just waiting for the right timing to come forward about this since he knows it's going to be a big deal. I think that Mom knows that you also work for a big company though. And so she wants you and Gerald to get married because she thinks he needs someone to take care of him.
So then, I think that I'm going to marry your brother and do everything for him on top of that?
Well, that's what my mom thinks, but Gerald doesn't want that at all.
Oh, well, as long as he understands that it isn't going to happen, that's good.
Right. So anyways, while we were talking, he explained all this to me and apologized for seeming to act so standoffish. But now the problem is how to move forward from here. In fact, Gerald was kinda hoping that you and I would be able to help him come out to the world as an author.
He wants our help with that. How so?
Well, the first thing I should let you know is that Gerald already has a fiancée.
Hold on a second, he does? I had no idea.
But yesterday, my mom was going on about how he needs to marry you again. Gerald mentioned something about already being engaged, however, and I guess my mom just assumed that he meant he was engaged to you. She thought that he was already in on her plan and was moving forward with it. You know that my mom probably wouldn't even listen to anything that proved the contrary.
Wow, your mom just really lives in her own world sometimes, doesn't she?
She has always been like this, though. Ever since we were little. Our mom has always tried to control every little thing we did and manage our lives.
You've told me a little bit about that before, but I feel bad for your brother having to deal with that.
But now that Mom has got it in her head that Gerald is engaged to you, he is worried that that is going to make things very difficult with his own fiancée, and that is what he wants our help with. So we're going to wait for a day when Mom is at home for all of us to meet and talk face to face.
Wow, this is all so much. You've been thinking about this a lot.
Well, this is going to be the talk where we can all finally decide how to get my mom out of our lives once and for all.
That's a pretty heavy task, but if you want help, just let me know what I can do.
Hello there, Emma. I assume the preparations for the wedding are continuing along nicely? And I imagine that you've already divorced Tony, yes?
I actually haven't done that at all, actually.
Excuse me? What are you doing? You need to get a divorce right now.
That's just not going to happen. In fact, Gerald said that it was a surprise for you that I wouldn't not be divorcing Tony, in fact.
A surprise for me? What is that supposed to mean?
I don't really know all the details, and can't say any more than this. I also have to go right now. Bye!
I see. Maybe Gerald is planning some kind of dramatic way to announce his marriage to you for everyone. Well, if he wants this to be a surprise, then I guess I won't ask any more questions either. Emma, where are you? Why haven't you arrived yet? You know you need to get here early for makeup and to fit into your dress. You're so late already. Emma, answer me right now. I have had just about enough of this nonsense, Emma.
Sorry, what are you talking about right now, Mimi?
I mean that you are supposed to marry Gerald so that you can take care of him. But now I've just been told that you've made a last-minute cancellation and you're not even going to be here? How could you just leave my poor boy at the altar like that?
I don't really know how else to say this, but Gerald and I were never going to get married. In fact, I'm on my honeymoon right now, actually.
What do you mean you're on your honeymoon?
I mean that Tony and I are on our honeymoon right now. And I suppose it's a good time as any to say that Tony and I got married in secret about 2 weeks ago.
But I don't get it. Gerald is here and he's still getting ready for the wedding.
Oh, I see. Well, either way, Tony and I have no intention of separating. And I was never going to marry Gerald either.
I won't let you get away with this. I mean, just who do you think is going to pay for all of this? You know that Gerald doesn't work. He can't afford something like this.
I don't know what is happening over there, and I don't want to. Please leave Tony and I out of it, okay? Now, goodbye.
Emma, you get back here right now and explain what's going on! What is going on here? I am still so confused.
What are you talking about this time, Mimi?
I mean that Gerald. My poor sweet little Gerald.
What about Gerald? Did something happen?
Well, he had to cancel the wedding since his bride never showed up. So he told me that he would take care of the cleanup and just go home. But then after I left, apparently some totally random lady showed up. And Gerald married her.
So then the wedding wasn't canceled after all.
I guess not. But I don't even know who this person is.
I'd probably guess it's the woman that Gerald was dating and then engaged to.
What are you talking about? Gerald wasn't seeing anyone because he was supposed to be marrying you. I think I would know if my son was engaged to someone.
Are you really sure about that?
Of course I am. But this is all your fault. You're the one making this happen. You stabbed my son in the back, and now you've made him marry some stranger out of desperation. How do you sleep at night?
Mom, you've got to stop this. It's getting ridiculous.
Tony, what is this all about?
Did you really have no idea that Gerald was seeing this girl this whole time?
Why are you talking to me about your brother? If you're mad at him for trying to steal your wife, go talk to him about it.
Mom, he was never trying to do anything like that. You were the one that got it in your head to try and set up Kenna with Gerald, but neither of them wanted that. Gerald tried to tell you that he was already engaged, but you only heard what you wanted to hear and thought that it meant to Emma. You always do this. You never listen to when other people try to say when you're wrong.
How can you say something like that to your own mother?
Because it's true. Speaking of, have you seen Gerald's room?
What about his room? Give me a moment. I don't get it. What is going on? The whole room is totally empty. There's nothing left.
Well, it was all Gerald's idea, really. Although he left you a note explaining things in your mailbox. I would read that very carefully so you can understand how Gerald and I really feel about all of this. Although it's way too late to change our minds now. This is my last goodbye, Mom. Have a nice life.
Wait, no, Tony! I still don't understand!
In the end, Gerald stopped talking to his mom without ever telling her what he really did for a living. Now he lives with his wife close to her parents. Tony and I have also moved recently as part of a job transfer. The new job was partially for better pay, but also because Tony didn't want his mom barging into the office and embarrassing him. She actually did do that, but it was too late and we were already gone. Also, Tony asked the receptionist at his office to tell her that we had quit. With no way to track us down, Mimi was left with no family to turn to, and lives out her days in her big empty house all by herself.
Rebecca, hello? I'm calling you. Where are you? Come on, you lousy bum. When I call you, I expect you to reply. What on earth are you up to today that has you so busy? I'm pretty sure it's not anything important. Hi there, sorry, what can I do for you? I'm pretty busy right now. I thought I told you already I don't like to be contacted unless it's an absolute emergency. Oh yes, that's right. By the way, you said you were going to the employment agency today? Is that what has kept you so busy? Is that why you weren't checking your messages or replying to me at all? Also, your mother wants me to contact you to make sure you're keeping out of trouble. She's worried that you're spending all your time at home and doing nothing. That's why I've been trying to get hold of you. No, I haven't been to the employment agency recently, and I'm not going today either. Are you serious? You said yourself that you were definitely going to go this week. You said you were going to look for a job. Do you have a problem understanding the English language? Yes, but as I've told you, I've already got a job and it keeps me very busy. So there really is no need for me to go to the employment agency, is there? Here we go again. The same excuses from you every day, bum. You already have a job, you say? All you do is stay at home. What's your job, protecting the house? You have to stop stuffing around like this. No one likes it when you act like this and tell such pitiful lies, you little wench. You seem to forget that we're both part of the same family now. Don't you think you're speaking a little bit too strongly to me? You expect me to speak to a lousy, freeloading bum like yourself with any type of respect? You must have a problem with your brain, too. When you start to act like a regular member of society and start living a normal life, then perhaps you'll get some respect from me. I go to my job every day from morning till night and work my butt off. You stay at home, sitting on your butt. There's no way I'm going to treat you as my equal. Perhaps I could treat my dependent mother well, but definitely not a child like you. Yes, but as I've told you many times before, I have a job. I work from home, I earn a wage, and I also give some of my income to the household funds. That is such a lie! If what you say is true, then give me some of your money. What? If you're working and earning so much money from the house, then there's no need for me to go to work, is there? That's a little bit unexpected and nonsensical. We all may live in the same house, but when we moved in together, you and your brother decided to keep all our personal finances separate. We may live under the same roof, but in the eyes of the law, we're treated as two separate families. That is why my money is my money, and I intend to keep it that way. I do more than enough of the household chores, so I do not see the need to finance your lifestyle as well. Here we go. You're so talkative today, aren't you? You're just leeching off of your mother still. That's so childlike. Even your father disapproved of your lifestyle. It's just that he keeps his mouth shut and doesn't tell you his feelings. If you insist on remaining a bum and not working or trying to get a job, the least you could do is help your mother and father around the house. If you can't help them, then you really need to pull your head out of your butt and get a real job. Isn't that your responsibility, big sister? What did you say? How dare you, you unemployed bum, speak to me in that way? Sorry, can I go now? I'm heading off on my trip pretty soon. I need to finish getting ready. What do you mean you're going away on a trip? Strange that an unemployed layabout can afford to go anywhere. Yes, surely I mentioned it to you before. It's a 3-day trip to New York City. It's a bit of a business trip. I have a few things I need to do in person there. This is definitely the first I've heard of it. Exactly what type of business will you be conducting there? It really pisses me off to hear unemployed bums talking of doing hard work. Sorry, I really have to finish now and get ready. If you would like to continue this talk, it'll have to wait until I get back. I'm sorry. How can you speak so impertinently to me? You're definitely going to regret that. Don't come crying to me when things don't work out on your business trip. Got it, thanks. Are you sure it's okay for me to go now? I really have very little time. Oh man, I can't believe you're still taking that tone. So busy, so busy. You'd better watch your step as you're going down to hell. Hey there! Today's the last day of your business trip, right? Kathy, is this important right now? I'm still very busy. Can it wait till I get back? I'll be home tomorrow. Sorry, I'll keep it brief. There's just one thing I wanted to say. While you were away on your business trip, we all moved out. You're gonna have to live on your own and get by all by yourself from now on. Really? Thank you. Thank you? Sorry, did you hear what I just said? Everyone has moved out. Your brother and I, our children, your mom and dad too. Everyone has moved. Yes, I heard what you said, and I thank you. Finally, your brain has snapped. You realize the situation facing you. You don't know what to do. Welcome to hell. Man, I can't wait to see how you're going to get along as an unemployed bum living by yourself. It's not going to be easy looking after that house all by yourself. All right. So tell me, where did you guys move to? Sure, I'll tell you. I'll give you our address, and you can maybe just come over. Maybe you can set up in the spare room and continue like old times. No. We found a place to move to. It's this fantastic apartment. Rent is cheap. There is no bond. It's so much nicer than the old rundown place that we used to live in. So you're serious when you say you've moved out and you're not coming back? Of course! Why would I joke about that? The old place was so run down and hard to look after. Even if we wanted to tear the house down and rebuild, that'd cost way too much money. Even the land is worthless. We'd never be able to sell it. I spoke to your parents and we all decided to just give it to you. Enjoy.
Really? Is that so? Okay then, I will humbly accept your offer to take over the house.
If you decide to move out, it's going to cost you a lot of money. If that's the path you decide to take, don't come running to us and expect us to help you out with the financing. We have washed our hands of that place and want absolutely nothing to do with it ever again. That's part of the deal.
Yes, I understand your terms. By the way, why did you take my mother and father with you? Surely if you wanted to leave so badly, it should have been just you and my brother and your kids who moved out.
I was wondering how long it would take you to mention that. You were just after your parents' money. It's just as I suspected all along. You are so afraid of being left alone and having to look after yourself. You wanted your mom and dad around to keep looking after you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, you just want their old age pensions to keep providing for your no-good lazing around the house lifestyle. I knew that's what you were after, so that's why I convinced them to move out and come with us. Now, both of their pensions will become part of our household income. Perhaps with the leftover money that you're not using, I'll go and get some cosmetic surgery.
Is that so?
Then, when I become more beautiful, maybe I'll be able to meet a whole new world of exciting people. That's what happens when you're rich and beautiful. I'm so excited.
I'm sorry to rain on your parade, but I don't think you'll be able to go and get cosmetic surgery.
Come again?
I'm just saying, without me in the house, I don't think you'll be able to afford the lavish lifestyle you're imagining.
Hang on, lazy bum. What on earth are you talking about? The one who's gonna have trouble getting by is you. No matter how much trouble you get into, we're not gonna be there to help you out.
Yes, I got that. So just to confirm, we're done. No more communication, no more to do with each other ever again.
That's what I said. And don't you ever forget it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your pitiful, no-good life.
Shortly after that, my sister-in-law was arrested for robbery. After her short imprisonment, she had to repay all of her debts and unpaid credit card bills. On top of that, there were my aging parents who needed to be looked after. I truly believe my sister-in-law was leading a life as she truly deserved, in a hell of her own making. My parents' dementia continued to get worse, but fortunately we were able to find them a nursing home that specialized in patients with dementia. Naturally, the nursing home isn't cheap, and my nasty sister-in-law has had to take up 2 extra part-time jobs to try and cover the expenses. As for me, I no longer have to worry about my greedy, selfish family, and I also have no problem with money. With the money from the sale of the house, I was able to find an apartment building that was newly built and featured a whole range of modern furnishings. I love my work, and it's fantastic that I can continue to work from home in my luxurious new place. Now that I have my work and my new house, perhaps next I'll be able to find the perfect person to enjoy it with. It might be just a dream at the moment, but I truly believe I'll be able to settle down and have a wonderful family of my own one day.